We will now have the fifth speaker for L42, Feel Great. Joyous Moments. Joyous Moments, Feel Great.
What's the most joyous moment in your life? I know most people ask you, what's the happiest moment in your life? Well, what's the most joyous? And what makes it a joyous moment? Well, I believe that a happy moment, well, it's all about you. How do you feel? Usually these things entail stuff like the day you got married or when you had your first child. A joyous moment is watching someone else react to how you made them feel. I'd like to give you an example. When I was 24, I lived in a little town called North Pole, Alaska. Now, most of the letters in the U.S. wind up at a place called the Santa Claus house that are written to Santa Claus. And just up the road from the Santa Claus house is the North Pole Mall, where my wife Michelle used to work. This particular year, they needed a mall Santa. And my wife, being the extremely generous woman that she is, volunteered my services. Well, no problem. I was happy to do it. They gave me the crushed red velvet suit, magical Santa Claus boots, fake glasses and the hair, and the fake Sears from Tummy because I needed it then. Now, being a mall Santa mostly entailed sitting in a comfortable chair, having my picture taken with children. I had an assistant dressed up in an elf costume. She was a lovely young woman, and the costume was, well, it was enough to catch a father's eye, but not enough to raise a mother's eyebrows. One day she asked me, she said, "Bill, would you mind going down to the daycare center where I normally work and play Santa Claus for the children there?" I said, "Sure, I'd be happy to." So the day came. I'm dressed up in full regalia. I'm in my little Sentra. I go into the parking lot, and I'm looking around to make sure there are no wayward children to spot my entrance. Grab my hat, my candy canes, and fake glasses, and I walk in through the door. Oh, thank God you are here. Now, I'm early, but apparently the children are getting a little anxious for their surprise guests. Well, no problem. They said, "Bill, we're so glad you're here. We're going to go get the room ready for you. So stay here, and in about 5 minutes, you need to walk down this hall, turn, and it'll be the classroom on the left." I said, "Okay, sure. Only at this particular time, I'm having to wipe the condensation off of my glasses because, well, it's cold in Fairbanks. I'm not sure if you knew that." So as I'm wiping off the condensation, I'm going, okay, sure. And then I look up, put the glasses on. They've all disappeared on me. There is no one to escort me to this classroom, so now I have no idea where to go. Take a deep breath. Don't panic. I sent up a little prayer to Providence that favors fools and little children and hope that he would do us both a favor. 4 minutes pass. I start walking down the hallway, looking this way and that between the fake hair, and all of a sudden, I heard a voice. "Santa!" Oh, good. I found the place. So I do my best, and I put my foot across the threshold. And something felt odd, different. Now, not wrong, mind you, just, I got the feeling like I'm at the top of a very tall roller coaster. Pretty excited, but just a little scared too. But I had my candy canes, I had children, all I needed now was a chair. So the teacher in the classroom, she got me a chair while the mothers lined up the children. I sat down, and they brought the first child to me. She's a pretty girl, she's about 12 or 13. I'm thinking, a little old for Santa Claus, but well, that's okay. Maybe she's letting the other kids know how it's done. No problem. So they set her on my knee, and I look up at her, and I see that she has Down syndrome. All the children did. And there was a little voice in the back of my head that thought that I should be surprised, and maybe just a little taken aback. But at the same time, there was another voice that said, "You're Santa Claus." She's a child. She wants to tell you what she wants for Christmas. Let her. So I looked, and before I even had a chance to ask her name, I looked in her eyes, and I saw wonder. Her eyes glittered with the disbelief that she was talking to the real Santa. Now, she believed, really believed, that I was Santa Claus. And for the next few minutes, in that tiny classroom, with those very special children, I was Santa Claus. Their happiness filled me with such joy. I got to see a manifestation of belief, of faith greater than a mustard seed in me. I got to touch and feel real joy. I literally floated out of the room. And it was odd because I heard these adult voices kind of cloying through my euphoric cloud, asking me, "Are you okay?" Well, what a ridiculous question. I was great. And even more surprised when the daycare director finally found me and said, "You went into the wrong room." No, I didn't. I went into exactly the room I was supposed to. I would encourage all of you to walk down life's hallways and maybe step into the occasional wrong room, so you may all find your most joyous moments. Mr. Toastmaster.